still sticking with the Kalista, not wanting to give a strong AD carry over. And we'll see, Weibo, even though SofM not finding, you know, like a massive performance on it, I still think it's the right call to lean back to this Poppy pick.
I mean, for sure. Like, fair enough. You might not have had an exceptional performance on it, but we have seen Tarzan have exceptional performances on it. And I just want to call out, I was 100% correct with my prediction of the Zeri being banned and the Poppy not. So, you know, thank you to me. And we'll see the Aphelios coming in this time around. So again, another exceptional late game carry that can just take over team fights. Maybe it's not as mobile as something like the Zeri, but definitely has a lot of punch in it.
And now I wonder, Weibo, if they just fall back to the same rotation, right? Sivir still what you'd expect as being the next highest priority AD carry left in the pool, unless they did want to try and go back to something, you know, old school and just try and match the range with the Jinx. But yeah, Yuumi being left open. The only other thing I can imagine them going for is if they wanted to go back to mid lane once again and try and run that battle of picking up the Azir and seeing if something come out for the side of Doinb. But honestly, Angel not having a great game. I just remember the one pick in mid lane where he went for the Emperor's Divide onto the Alistar and put himself in harm's way. So maybe opting into something with more all in, and he goes for it.
Yeah, Sylas locked and loaded here, but that does give you opportunities here as LNG to kind of pick your counters. It also means, though, I think that at Weibo are kind of saying, look, you either got to pick your counter in mid lane, and you can't really pick the Gnar blind here. It does mean that you're kind of giving over an incredibly powerful ultimate to the Sylas. So the Taliyah makes a lot of sense in my mind. I think the Taliyah is an exceptional carry and can just, we've seen it again so many times. We talk about how powerful this champion is in the right hands. You just dictate when and where the fights happen.
And now for LNG, I wouldn't be surprised if they banned out the Yuumi pick that you highlighted for Weibo. Maybe you're more concerned about things like the Renata, like the Nautilus, that both champions we've seen paired up with that Aphelios also often. Both would just enable their team fighting so well, but no, actually paying respect to On's Pyke. Maybe not finding a win, but being enough of a hindrance and an annoyance, just kind of hovering in their faces, constantly looking for those hooks that they don't want to deal with it.
No, they definitely do not. You know what's an interesting little statistic I've noticed for myself now? Angel has the highest KDA of any mid laner at 6.43. He also has one of the lowest damage percentages on any mid laner in the league, down at like, I think it's like 24.5%. So it's just, it's always an interesting one for me when I'm like, you know, you think low KDA, you think low damage, or high KDA, high damage. Doesn't always mean that. So we'll see what he's able to do. I like bringing in little tidbits, little fun facts for everybody here. The Olaf bit banned away, like you mentioned. On will not get his hands onto the Pyke. And it feels like LNG have got themselves a little bit of a winning formula right now. They know that they just need to get rid of things in the bot side because Huanfeng and On did not have the same level of impact as Light and LvMao, and it feels like if On's just not able to, you know, roam around and be that big engaged carry that we've seen from him so often, he's just not really doing anything in the game.
No, so they're going to force him back onto something that he might be not as comfortable on. Now for Weibo, I'm curious to see where they go, because I thought maybe they'd match banning out some of these supports as well. Of course, some of the supports they'd want to ban out do have really clutch, really insane ultimates that Angel wouldn't mind taking away, right? If LNG decided to go for Renata, you would love to have the hostile takeover for Angel, but same kind of being said for the Nautilus pickup. But Gnar, another key pick that is still left open, despite the fact that I think Allah would maybe prefer going for a counter pick. I mean, we know TheShy's Gnar, always been one of his go-to picks throughout the years.
Let's see what they want to lock in. Might just go solo. Yeah, the Sejuani locked and loaded here, so happy to take that particular matchup. And honestly, into the Gnar, it's not that bad. You just got to make sure you're not taking too many mini Gnar exchanges. Also, the fact that they're going up against the Sylas, and we know Sylas just a much better user of the Gnar ult than the Gnar himself, I guess is why they're going to opt into this kind of a double-pronged attack that this not only does well into the Gnar, right, especially at that level 6 point, being able to find those all-ins, but denying the Sylas being able to steal that one away and having the higher impact available. Will open it up for TheShy, who I wouldn't be surprised for him to lock this in, just because he has been so comfortable on this pick throughout his career. And then, of course, on the Rakan has been, you know, we've seen the Pyke recently, but the Rakan was historically the pick that he leaned on, and no surprise for LNG, going to opt into the Renata that we've been talking about. Yeah, the Renata is just so good at stopping things like a Gnar and a Sylas, even a Rakan as well, like you mentioned, just getting in on top of your face. So very nice to see them kind of go for that particular pick there, and see if LvMao is able to go for it. I will say you will have a pretty hard time in the laning phase, but not really a lane that has kill pressure into. Yes, you can get the knockups, but the Sivir, not exactly known for her early game prowess, definitely something that can be mitigated. And honestly, again, we look towards the top side of the map. I think for LNG, you're going to try and make this work with Tarzan again. Look to try and make things work with Doinb getting the roams out and getting those the seismic shoves to make things work in either a 2v2 or a 3v2 top side.
100% agree, especially when we talk about the bot lane 2v2, right, looking for the all-in. Remember the other day, AL played Sivir Amumu. Amumu would go for the all-in, Sivir would try to follow up with damage, and there was just no damage there in the early game, and they were consistently getting out-traded. So, gonna have to be careful, especially with the side of LNG having the range to be able to play with. Renata trying to poke him out, of course, to take a couple nerfs, base HP, and even just your base AD, which when you're constantly going for those auto attacks in these types of matchups, you do feel a little bit. But ultimately for LNG, they have engage, they have disengage. They love when the enemy composition wants to play into them. And for Weibo, they have a really short range composition. 500 range AD carry, a Sylas in the mid lane. They're going to be needing to go in. So I feel like this is where LNG could potentially thrive.
Well, this could be it. Final game of the split here for both Weibo and LNG. Well, potentially the final game. LNG 1-0 up in the season. Maybe. Maybe. But LNG 1 win away from getting themselves into playoffs. 1 win away to get themselves the literally best kind of end to the split you possibly can. A 2-0 against someone who you are probably going to end up playing in the playoffs itself. So bodes well for you if you're able to get the win here, but we'll have to wait and see if we're going to one more or if this will be it for both these sides until playoffs. But at the end of it all, still lots to be doing, still lots to think about coming into this one. And for LNG, where do you want to see them kind of prioritize? We obviously know that Tarzan can go for, but you know he can go for we've seen him go for different moves with the Trundle, but where specifically do you think he's going to find the most advantages?
I think enabling that his bot lane can do like good in the early game would be pretty nice. You do have some options up there, especially because you assume TheShy going to be pushing in that top side. Kind of look to gank the mini Gnar early, and then maybe make a return visit once Allah has his ult up, because that's when a lot of that kill pressure comes through on that mini Gnar. You can look to start setting yourselves up for things like the first Herald. Mid lane, they should be relatively fine early on. Angel not going to have a ton of kill pressure until he gets to level 3, but even then, I feel like Sylas, you're really waiting for that level 6 mark to be able to roam and impact the map. So I actually feel like Tarzan having a decent amount of options on the map available, and we could see him making his way up towards the top side to start things out.
Let's see what he wants to go for. Both junglers going to be starting on the bottom half of the map. This SofM. You want to be starting as many multiple, these multiple enemy camps or unit camps as you can. Your Q just does so well at clearing them up so quickly. Tarzan is actually the complete opposite. He wants to be on as many solo camps as he possibly can get, because it doesn't do exceptionally well at clearing out multiple unit camps in as the Trundle. And we'll see what they both see sides want to go for. LvMao now walking forward and not actually starting with the handshake, so I'm not going to be able to get any kind of aggressive CC down, but is going to be able to kind of just harass them down here with the Q.
Especially considering the fact that we saw Huanfeng and Unleash opting into that, allowing Light and LvMao to be able to get that push, but also sets him up to not fall prey to the early ganks that could potentially come through. But for now, at least Tarzan kind of making his way towards the potential full clear and realizing, hey, not too much needed for me early on, even if the potential windows are there. For SofM, I think it's a lot harder. Since you do have this engaged support up into a range support like the Renata, it'd be kind of nice to see him get involved and try and find an avenue for them to be back in, but instead going to be playing up and making sure TheShy is a fine time in lane, because so far Allah doing a decent job of finding these all-ins.
Yeah, Allah kind of taking the other side, or not even the other side of the matchup, but definitely the other, taking the Sejuani away from TheShy, kind of saying, look, all right, buddy, this is how you play it. I will say TheShy is doing exceptionally well at last hitting and making sure that he is as well off as he possibly can be. Tarzan was up towards that top side, clearing out vision. Actually, really good movement here from SofM. He finds himself now up towards this top end, and now he knows he's there. He actually knows that he knows. That's how confident he is with the pathing that he knows that Tarzan's on. And that means that Allah's a little bit caught between a rock and a hard place. He really wants to try and push this way, but it's very difficult to do so when you know there's a poppy lurking.
So we'll at least waste a bit of Allah's time, right? Forcing to back off, play a little bit safe and make sure he isn't there. They're even scared of him being in towards the Krugs or in that brush. So For LNG, doing your due diligence, making sure he can't look for any sort of cheesy or sneaky plays coming through, but we'll get him back down towards the spot side. He hasn't cleared out his Krugs yet, and we were talking about, right? We know the spot line's going to be constantly pushed in. They have the engage on the Rakan. Theoretically, if you can get flashes blown from LNG's bot lane, it's going to be a lot harder for them to maintain this pressure when you're constantly going to have to look over your shoulders at the threat of a gank coming in from SofM.
Well, Tarzan going to try and make his own gank happen right now as TheShy is in Mega and is trying to run away as fast as his little legs will take him. But the flash in with the pillar, the CC. Oh, it's a repeat of the top side. Allah is actually just clapping TheShy right now in a straight up lane diff.
And let's remember that one of the things that led to the wave kind of stacking up and coming back into him was the fact that Weibo were zoning him out with the threat of SofM in the wings. So that kind of biting him a little bit. TheShy building up this big wave, trying to trade in this 1v1. I guess they expected Tarzan to be back down towards that bot side, considering that's where SofM is. They know both went for clears from bot to top side, and just not thinking that this gank would come through is, yeah, you're right. Gonna come through. They see the... It's already too late, I guess, with how he was positioned, right? Walking into that brush. Tries to flash away, but beautiful flash pillar from Tarzan is what guaranteed that this kill goes through.
Yeah, and again, going over to Allah is just kind of huge in this matchup. You're able to get the earlier boots. You're able to get yourself back out onto the map a lot quicker. Allah will be able to trade back a little bit more effectively now once, or excuse me, TheShy will be able to trade back a little bit more effectively now that he is in the mini Gnar. But that's the big thing now. We always see that the changes that we saw coming in for the Gnar was that a little bit more susceptible to ganks in the mini Gnar form, but also as a Mega, you just don't, at free level 6, you just don't have any way of separating people away from you without having that Mega Gnar.
Yeah, right. You still do decent damage. You're tankier. It's harder to bring you down. But when you're that far extended, you don't have your jungler around, you aren't going to make it through. Now, though, trying to find a position onto Olive. We already highlighted how hard it could be to take down the Sejuani. And, oh, Weibo actually dedicating more resources to topside first. So instead, trying to ignore that bot lane 2v2, knowing that they are just going to constantly give up that push. They know Huanfeng not any threat right now, so seeing if they could find anything. And this does open up Angel to be able to get pushed and get prio of his own to start looking to impact him out.
Yeah, and I think this is the thing with the Sivir as well. You see the pickaxe being picked up usually first item over the high noon quiver because you're not really looking for attack speed. You're looking for straight flat damage. And speaking of straight flat damage, Allah might be in a lot of trouble here. Still has his ignite available to him should he want to go for it, but hasn't quite been caught out just yet. The Arctic Assault is good, and the boomerang doesn't quite land. Now Doinb can cover, and yes, you get yourself a plate, but you invested a hell of a lot there to not get anything more.
For Weibo, you invested the flash from SofM. You invested Angel actually stole the Weaver's Wall and used that to close some distance and not able to find anything. Looks like he was going to get out scot-free. So yeah, huge time loss for the side of Weibo. They did manage to get Doinb to use his Weaver's Wall as well. I don't think he really needed it to cover for Allah's LvMao. I think LNG's bot lane should be fine. But yeah, I don't think Doinb needed that necessarily to cover, but maybe hoping to find something on the return and sadly just not able to do so.
Yeah, I mean, Doinb being there is just nice to know that, yes, if someone on the side of Weibo overextends or really wants to try and overforce onto Allah, you have the Ignite, you have so many things that can work out in your benefit. So just a precautionary setup there for the LNG mid laner as he goes up towards that top side and able to pick up all these waves. And honestly, with the pressure now coming in, we're going to see the ultimate completely whiff, but it doesn't matter because TheShy has no flash and he's already used his hop. The Ignite goes down. He's just being wailed on by a flail and a club.
And that's exactly what they needed, is now LNG's bot lane going to try and find something of their own. Not able to get in there. They need to be careful. Herald's coming up in 10 seconds, so kind of surprised both teams putting so much down to this fight and bot.
Sivir ult is there. They're going to get the knockback, and that's going to be on. Taken out. Doinb called the play. Flash from LvMao. Make sure that he does not get abducted. And that is just good play from LNG. They're calling out Weibo at every point.
LNG finding the kills. Sadly, not able to turn this into an objective. And with the fact that they've used things like the Sejuani ultimate and topside, I wonder how confident they are in looking to start that one up. Considering right Doinb running down towards that bot side, resets had to come out on top, and it feels like for LNG now have to get back on the map, have to get some of these waves in order now that we see them being pushed out by members of Weibo before they can even think about these neutral objectives.
Yeah, and look, we'll have a look at the replay here because again, it's just TheShy kind of moving forward. I have a bit of a theory when it comes to TheShy, so I'm not the biggest lover of TheShy.
You're not.
I'm not. I have said in a couple of different times I don't think he's as hyped as everyone does it is. And of course, every single time the stats are put in front of me. But I think this is why. Because whenever I cast TheShy, he does this. And whenever anyone else is casting him, he's a god. I never get to cast TheShy popping off. This is why I have such a skewed view.
You know what? The games are still on when you're not on, Rashid.
Yeah, I know.
He still has those moments, but
I don't get to cast it, though. Therefore, I don't believe it.
Here could be his potential time. Actually doesn't have the rage bar stacked up, but we were hitting on before that there was a window where Ala didn't have the ult, and speaking of not having ults, Angel having to get rid of the one that he did steal from LvMao. And I'm curious to see what Weibo able to do here. TheShy would want his Mega Gnar for Weibo to be able to contest. But LNG, they're going to get this one so low. They have all their ultimates available. They're in a great spot. The great spot, a little bit less great.
Well, it's still a good one. I will say TheShy is still about 25 CS ahead in his top side, but the 2 kills from Ala does equal that out just a little bit. So now Ala joining in with his team does have the Glacial Prism available to him. The Rift Howl has been down to about 4,000 HP. As we can see, the bot lane of Weibo are going to be in a pincer maneuver. They could get the quickness out and maybe go for a full 5v5. Never mind. It's going to be turned on them. It's an Uno reverse card right now as On doesn't even get a chance to do anything there. Great Renata ultimate means that Weibo have to back themselves away. I think it was stolen there as well. Weibo weren't able to get it. The flick back. TheShy has to back himself away, but a flash forward from Light secures the kill, and he survives!
Oh, he lives!
Unbelievable from LNG, and they are mopping the floor with Weibo.
LNG are finding everything in this series. You can see how badly they want that playoff dream to just be guaranteed and done with today. Beautiful team fighting coming out. Does look like they were able to get that Herald and pick that one up in the end, as there it is in Tarzan's inventory. And now he's going to make sure to get that scuttle towards spot, try and have some vision, and hopefully not let that dragon go through. But we'll go straight into the replay. LNG doing a great job knowing where Weibo's bot lane is. And it looks like, hey, maybe they're being collapsed or maybe they're being sandwiched. They don't really have to worry about too much. Oh my god, great cancel coming out to make sure that one couldn't go through. But they're able to turn on one side, because for Weibo, you have 2 squishy members down towards that bottom half of the fight. Very easy for LNG to look for the commit and immediately find one pick. But here, great seismic shove, and then Light flashing forward to get this one down, goes with the Q of the shotgun to make sure he can then follow through with the sniper shot, and then making sure they're able to pick that one up. So overall, I mean, there were so many small things in there that LNG did so well.
Like, even then, like, just right at the end, I didn't even notice it. Light gets hit by the stolen Sejuani by the Sylas, and then instantly cleanses it, so he doesn't get any benefit out of that ultimate. And now, TheShy, he's been caught out again. SofM trying to run away. He's almost got himself out, but a keeper's verdict.
Oh no!
There he is!
It screwed him!
He screwed him just a little bit. He's going to get taken out. Angel cannot help you here. This is just decimation right now. LNG, this is huge, Lyric. This isn't just a win. This is a win against someone who's above you in the standings, who you might be playing in playoffs.
Yeah, and this is not just a win, right? Game 1, like, it was tense. It was close. LNG felt like they were in control for a lot of the game, but still, like, there was hope there for Weibo. Right now, I mean, the fact that we're up to a 4K gold lead at not even 13 minutes, like, my God. I just hope if LNG can close this one out, that we can keep seeing this in playoffs, right? Because no one's really had a problem with LNG as a team. It's a problem with expectations versus reality that we got. But if we can keep getting plays like this, kind of locking down multiple members of Weibo, and then I like it that they don't really split their focus. They try to commit on to the one guaranteed kill. And there we see SofM's ultimate kind of ends up biting him in the end, pushing him to where he ends up hitting Doinb. Depression. Pure depression.
Yeah, it's rough. And we haven't even taken a dragon yet, so we're not even dragon stacking. That's not even a win condition, you could say, here for the side of Weibo is on. This is the thing with taking the Rakan. I like the Rakan, but since the Taliyah's come back into the meta, it just feels like you don't have that same kind of earn. You can't go over that unraveled dirt. You will be stopped instantly, and you are so squishy. You will just be killed. So right now, LNG, they're sitting pretty. You've got first items being picked up by everybody. Gale Force for Light means that he's in a much safer position than he was a few minutes ago.
3 mythics versus 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. You got the Kraken Slayer on Huanfeng. He's doing well in the CS department, but Yeah, I mean, Weibo, this is the big issue we've always had with them, but honestly, I don't even think this is Weibo necessarily playing badly. This is LNG just calling them at every point, and again, and again, we are going to see them just punishing right now as Weibo just weren't expecting them to go for it. The Taliyah wall will be stolen by Angel, but Tarzan's still left behind. He's trying to go back to his friends. They're over the wall, and now they can re-engage because he's got the support. Doinb not quite able to land the seismic shove, and everyone kind of backs away. But yeah, like this is starting to become personal. LNG are just pushing them so far behind.
And they're going to keep going, right? You look at where other things we can do on the map. I mean, TheShy looks like maybe just freezing or catching the wave in topside, not in a position to push that out or punish. So LNG not losing anything anywhere on the map and able to get this. We can even see Doinb and Alla grouping up towards mid as SofM and Angel going to try and find an engage.
Light, oh, he gets flashed upon here. They're going to have the Weaver's Wall in, so Doinb's going to be joining in. They do kill off Lights, that's good, and they lose on again. As you can see now, they can see SofM just completely on the wrong side of the map, and he's going to be probably chased down here. Going to try and use the Keeper's Verdict, but just before he can get the lollipop to drop, he ends up dropping himself. So right now, 10-1 in kills, 5,000 just underneath of a gold lead now for LNG. They've got themselves a dragon. They've got total control over this map, and honestly, if Weibo fight at Rift Herald, they're going to be dead.
And you can see in this replay, Weibo are wanting to try and find this quick pick because both soul laners of LNG just showed on the wave in mid. But not accounting for this TP to come through. The Moonlight Vigil, absolutely massive. Forces Angel back. I'm surprised he didn't get killed by Alla off screen. And then SofM trying to come in from the other angle. LvMao able to flash in and guarantee that this one kill comes through. So it's like I can empathize and see what Weibo were thinking, right? Like, hey, 2 members mid, let's try and find a quick pick and back out. But they're so far in. Doinb able to come down, Alla having TP, and everything just goes disastrous.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I think Angel doesn't die is because he flashes away from Alla, who of course didn't get time to put down the ignite, so not able to go for it. Rift Herald's to be second Shelly, popping up now in 10 seconds time. Weibo, I just don't think you can contest this anymore. I think that, oh god, SofM might be in a lot of trouble. They don't land the handshake. It was very, very close. If he gets hit by that, brought back, seismic shove comes in, he's dead.
LNG taking control of this top side is on.
He goes for a double quickness, but it's not onto Light. It is, however, onto LvMao, who does get the stolen ultimate there as the AD carry Aphelios does start to do a significant amount of damage. The flick back not quite good here, and okay, LNG, look, it was looking good, but you're starting to get a little bit shaky. Definitely not needed right now. You need to try and be as straight as an arrow. Need to be putting yourself into a good position to close out this game.
Not expecting so many members of Weibo to be there and look for that engage, but no one, maybe TheShy showing on sides, but no one else showing on the map. The one to contest, great job by them. Just be like, you know, we don't care about anything else going on. We're going to go for this engage now while they don't have the setup exactly there to be able to contest. And when we take a state of vision on the map right now, it's actually Weibo, once again, kind of controlling vision. LNG will have a chance to try and get this back as we see sweepers pop now, but still not really having the numbers to push in too aggressively to find it. But here we go, set up the play. Angel already gets away pushed in top. They see these 3 members here, and with On able to get 2 locked down, immediately Renata goes down, she's squishy. Angel steals away the ulti as well to lock them in place for just a little bit longer and force Light to flash. Thank God for LNG that Light has such fast fingers to be able to get away from that damage.
And oh,
wait, what?
Okay, Alla, we come back to live, and Alla is dead, but now Huanfeng might be caught out himself. He does have Ghost, and he does have Flash. Not quite able to get caught out just yet. Doesn't have ultimate available to him. But LNG, this game was going so perfectly. You're letting it slip through your fingers. You can't be letting Weibo, a team of this caliber with players of this quality, just run around and get things off of you.
And for context, they went from about a 5K gold lead to just over a 2,000 gold lead now. So you're right. Definitely giving Weibo that wiggle room to get back in the game as we see how the pick came out through bot lane. 2 members diverted to make sure that it comes through, and then give themselves some breathing room. And especially once you take out Alla, it removes a little bit of the threat from LNG to be able to group up and try and force fights, because right, he really is that big mainstay engaged for them as SofM maybe forced to use his own ulti with members of LNG right in front of him.
Now
I actually don't know. I actually don't know why he
I don't know why he ulted that one. I think he was actually looking to try and stop backs, I believe, so that they couldn't get a reset. But now TheShy, he might have overextended. Is this never going to end here, Lyric? No one's going to be able to have fun. No one's going to be able to do anything. Subjugate comes out, flick back, Bob's your uncle, and I will continue to say that when I'm casting TheShy, he is not very good.
And you know what? I will also make my point speaking in this tone as you are doing. The dragon now coming out for this. I don't know why I did that to you. I'm sorry. How did you get the Drake though? Woo!
They trade it for top lane tier 1. I do love that. To anyone who doesn't know, like when you cast with people for a while, you start to pick up on little things they do, and it will always not criticism.
Stop
but like
breaking the fourth wall of
I
shit.
gotta break it. The game's not doing anything. I like to educate, you know. But yeah, you pick up on little things, and it just shows you how intimately aware myself and Lyric are of each other. He understands when I'm doing something. Yeah, see? You gotta let the whole sentence come out, and then you can chastise me.
You use the word intimately, and you know, you also today. Oh wait, maybe we do have some action. No, actually, Angel.
What else did I do today?
Angel just ends up running away today. I tuned in earlier. You know, again, I wasn't supposed to be here today. I was supposed to be at the gym, and I saw my face on a screen with Mole, and you talking about how great Mole was. I appreciated that. You know, we're gonna stop taking these tangents now because LNG trying to get this aggressive vision up towards topside, trying to fish for these picks, and Baron's up a sheen. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's sparkly. Come on, LNG. You like it?
It is sparkly. They might like it. Maybe they're magpies, or maybe On is actually a little bit far away. They're going to try and jump on the Tarzan. The flick back isn't really that good. They're going to have a hostile takeover, really not do anything. Wasn't a great angle, but Angel's already in the backside. He TP'd into this fight, still has access to the Sejuani ultimate. The Keeper's Verdict just knocks away Doinb. So, a lot of ultimates burned, a lot of things have happened, but SofM now maybe caught out. He's going to get jumped on here by Doinb, and he flashes away. So, you're starting to see all these small little advantages, all these small little things running away from you. Tarzan is here. They're going to use the ultimate there onto LvMao. Yes, he's very squishy, but not exactly a priority target. And Lyric, we shall take a breath, reset, and get ourselves back onto the map as everyone starts to go back and pick up some more wards and items.
I'm just surprised that Weibo weren't able to find more because Angel came in on the TP flank. You could see Weibo's ward so deep into LNG's jungle, but not in confidence to pull the trigger with how much damage some of the members have taken, and now still not going to be able to take the SERP, but another TP coming through, this time from Ala.
This is from Ala on the backside of this when he jumps in the Huanfeng, but that steadfast presence was actually insane right there. Still doing a lot of damage. And no matter what SofM does, you cannot deal with all of the CC. Whoa! Not going to quite land the ultimate there from Ala. I think he was expecting to hop a lot sooner there from TheShy as TheShy goes mega. But you don't have Huanfeng anymore, which means that your consistent damage in these fights is severely mitigated.
And LvMao looks incredibly close to having the hostile takeover back. Moonlight Vigil looks close as well, so that they feel comfortable going for this. TheShy, sadly, just timing out of his Mega Gnar form as well.
Here we go, On looking to try and get his quickness back. He's got a bit of a quarter of it left, so maybe like 20 seconds or so. Well, never mind, I completely misjudged it. He goes in on top of it, but there's the hostile takeover, the Moonlight Vigil. The Baron's not quite done yet, but there's a double kill going over for Light. He's going to make it into a triple, and he's continuing to push forward. He's got the Gravitum. They've got the Weaver's Wall. As he's keep pushing forward, they will take him out. 4 are dead. LNG want playoffs now.
Machine, what world is this? LNG 16 kills to 3 against Weibo. LNG coming in out of nowhere. Some amazing team fights. I love the timing as well. They find the pick so close to the times. Those key ultis are about to be up. We can see here what comes through. Originally, Weibo tried to go for the TP flank, but this time Ala comes in clutch. Sure, it gets locked down, but look at the Weibo members trying to follow up with some damage. Seismic shove from Doinb, able to make sure it comes through, and then flashes from other key members like Renata and the Trundle to guarantee it goes down. And I feel like the most important thing here, no Mega Gnar on TheShy, just timed out, and LNG's key ultis just about to come back up right as Weibo going for the engage. We see here, goes in. Well, guess what? Hostile takeover is now up. Moonlight Vigil about to be here as well. And yeah, once again, Poppy not able to find what she was looking for, makes it so the Baron goes over to the side of LNG.
Well, we're going to go back into LNG because LNG are currently just pushing Weibo back at all fronts right now. They've got the push in bot lane, so they're going to be able to put themselves at tier 2. The gold lead has ballooned to just under 8 1,000. This is going to become a big moment, you would imagine, for LNG if they can fix it off. TheShy has to jump away as he's nearly towards Mega. You can see him trying to maybe go for it, because again, one big Mega Gnar, one big moment where he's able to catch 4 people where they're not putting damage down onto Huanfeng. That could be the moment there they're able to turn this one around. The next turret will be falling in the mid lane as On tries to go 1-for-1 against Tarzan. As you can see there, Pillar of Ice pops up, forcing On to use his battle dance, and everyone kind of backs away. But for the moment, Lyric, honestly, as you said, what world do we live in? This is just such a different LNG. They feel so much more confident.
And they're choking Weibo out from their own jungle, taking their camps in complete vision control. Dragon's about to be up once again, which might not matter.
Whoa! Whoa, what was that damage? And they can transition this right into Angel. Yes, it's Doinb versus a Sylas, but he's not alone. They're going to cleanse off the hostile takeover. Double kill comes in for Light. They'll have a minion wave in a couple of seconds. Lyric, they might have done it.
Yeah, they might just be able to go for the end here, even having some ultis up. Like, they still have the hostile takeover. Tarzan has his ult available. A lot of this coming from the fact that you hit on where is this damage. Light being a full item up over Huanfeng, and they're looking for it.
Oh, here it is. LNG looking to book their ticket, stamp their seat into playoffs. Right at the depth, they only got themselves the 7 wins. This could be the 8th. It's an average score, but it's going to be just enough to get in the playoffs. I think they might have done it, Lyric, in a 2-0 fashion. We thought it would happen against RA, but it in fact happened against Weibo. And at the end of it all, LNG get themselves into the postseason.
Where has this LNG been all split long? Great performance coming out. 2 games in a row. Look at the happy faces. It's so great to see LNG like this. It just lifts up your own mood because, like, I feel like seeing Doinb on your screen and not smiling, not laughing, not dancing, like, that is not the world that I want to live in. So I'm so happy to see LNG kind of make a comeback, surprisingly, with this roster, right? Like, obviously things not working out with Ala halfway through the split. He gets subbed out. For a majority of the time, it seemed like the clear consensus was Iwandi is better than LvMao. But LvMao's come back in. Things have, you know, again, maybe not looked great. They have lost against teams that they shouldn't have, but they've also found wins, and they've actually been able to piece it together. So super happy for LNG on being able to make this one come through. And Weibo fans, don't be sad, because guess what? This didn't impact your spot in playoffs whatsoever. It's a win-win.
Nope. Well, it's a win-win-lose.
So win-win.
Lose. Yeah. No. It's a lose-win-win. You know. Yeah, but again, this has massive implication, because not only does this secure LNG into playoffs, but it also turns those 3 playoff spots into 2 playoff spots. 2 left, 4 teams in there, Anyone's Legend, TT, FBX, and Billy. And you gotta feel like 8 was the magic number. And we always talk about it every single year. Yes, sometimes 7 is good enough, but 8 is always the number we look towards. 8 is the one that we always say that is the guarantee, or at least the highest percentage of a guarantee that you're gonna probably have. And LNG finally got there. And I honestly, I do feel really good that we got to see this side of LNG coming into this one here, because I think a lot of us were very, very skeptical about Doinb and, of course, Tarzan coming into this. We don't want to see them not in playoffs, but we're saying, look, they're not together. They're not working as a team. They're not looking cohesive. That was exceptionally good. If that's in a best of 5, they're 2-0 up, and they could 3-0 Weibo. That puts you into round 4. That puts you in the top 6 of the LPL teams.
Yeah, and you know, kind of going back to the standings point, because I find this split so interesting with that number 7, right? Funnily enough, there's still a world where all playoff teams end on 8 wins. Like, if AL beats TS and TT win their last series, that is possible. But I will be sad if that happens. We've been selling the 7-win dream for the last, like, 2 weeks of the split. So, great job, LNG. AL, I hope you don't follow them there, or TT, whoever it is. You know, we need to get some 7-win teams in there. But I'm kind of getting off topic, like we've done quite a bit today.
Yeah,
LNG, pretty cool. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And look...
Wait, no, I learned a new word today from Joe. The word is spiffing. LNG, pretty spiffing.
Spiffing, oh my lord. Of course you learned that from Joe. Munchable's telling you all that kind of weird mumbo jumbo. But yeah, look at it here. You can see there, just the damage just not really there. And again, I 2 games in a row, we've seen SofM try to play the Poppy. Straight up just think that he's just not comfortable on the pick. It just doesn't look good for him, and I feel like Tarzan had his number at every point. We can see why the Trundle is so damn good, and it's just a good counter pick. I think if you're going to pick the Poppy, I don't think you can pick a blind anymore, because I think the people like Tarzan and other fantastic junglers we have in our league are going to be able to counter you.
Yeah, it didn't work out. The Gnar also not working out. I will say it is fair. Maybe your not love of the shot